What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. Today's a main deck Monday, and I know last week we covered the Umbreon deck, so this week we're gonna cover the Espeon deck. Now we're playing pretty much the same exact thing. We're just using Espeon instead of Umbreon. We're still using Vespiquen. Use a Be Revenge, do 20 plus 10 more damage for each Pokemon in your discard pile, which does help very late game. It helps against Greninja as well to hit for weakness. And the thing with Espeon, let's go over it. So Espeon, first off, it's a Psychic Pokemon, so now you can hit a Mega Mewtwo for weakness, which is key right here. If you can, I mean, that's probably one of the deck's hardest matchup is Mega Mewtwo, because you really don't have a Psychic attacker, and now with Espeon you do. So the things about Espeon, it has a really good first attack and a really good second attack. You have Side Beam, it does 30, and they're auto confused. You don't have to flip a coin. You can attack with the turn 1 thanks to Eevee because you do have the energy evolution. You just put a Psychic energy on it, search for an Espeon, and do the turn 1 Side Beam to auto confuse it. Now they're confused. They have to flip heads to attack you, or they flip a coin if heads, they attack you. If tails, they take 30 damage. So that's good. You can slow down your opponent that way, which is really good. And then you have Psychic. It does 60 and then 30 more damage times the amount of energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. Now I know the base is lower. Umbreon does 90 and 30, but this one does 60. And most all decks use like 2 energies to attack. I mean, like you might play DC, which is your highest amount. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then if you have the weakness type out here, you do 240, which is amazing because with Vaporeon, Jolteon, and Flareon, you cover pretty much all types except for Dark. Fighting is one we don't really have in this deck. Too bad there's not a fighting Eevee. Maybe Gen 100 will have a fighting Eevee, whatever. I don't know, Fighting, whatever you want to call it. But that's going to be the plan. We're going to use Espeon and evolve one of the Eevees into one of these guys, depending on the situation. Like if it's weak to Lightning, Jolteon, if it's to Water, Vaporeon, if it's weak to Fire, Flareon, and you're good to go. You do at least 240, because like I said, most decks need two or more energies to attack. Like I said, most is maybe a DC. I know Volcanion, you can use like one fire type of baby Volcanion, but then with Psychic plus that 1 energy is 180. So you still can knock on a baby Volcanion even with the Fighting Fear Belt. So you can see why this deck is like, I think it's a lot better than Umbreon for sure. But 2 Shaymin to help set up, 2 Klefki to help against those mega decks like Mega Quaza that are just so fast you can at least waterlock and buy a couple turns. 4 for Vespiquen for late game, and 3 Unown to get more Pokemon in discard pile and draw into more cards you need. We play 2 Level Ball to search Pokemon with 90 HP or less. Sorry, there's a train passing by right now. 1 Special Charge to get those DCs back in your deck. 1 Super Rod to get those Espeons and our Vespiquen late game. 4 Ultra Ball, 4 VS Seeker, no Trainer's Mail, there's really no space in here, and 2 Faded Town. Now, last week we didn't play a Stadium card, and we kind of got punished by a Parallel City, if I remember correctly. So Faded Town is going to help us out to put 2 damage counters on each Mega Evolution. Now, this is going to help more against Mega Gardevoir, because Mega Gardevoir, we don't have a Steel type. But we should still be okay. Use Vespiquen plus Faded Town. You can pretty much knock out Mega Gardevoirs that way. 1 Hex Maniac, we cut 1. I mean, like I said, Greninja is pretty much the main thing you use Hex Maniac on. But then you try to go really aggressive. Vespiquen should be good to go. 2 Lysandre or 2 in. 1 Professor to help hit that 20 more damage just in case. 4 Sycamore, 2 Teammates to get any card to your deck. Really good card. You just via Seeker, grab any 2 DCs out of your deck or whatever you need, and you're good to go. 2 Float Stone, 4 DC, and 4 Psychic Energy. Now, you could play a 5th Psychic Energy, but 4 is fine because you only use them on Espeon. You could use it for a Vespiquen for the Intelligence Gathering, do 10, and draw. You have 6 cards in your hand. But like I said, this deck is like last week for Umbreon, but it's a little bit different because it's Espeon, he has different attacks. And we're going to be good to go, guys. So let's see, which one do you think is better, Umbreon or Espeon? That is the big question. And yeah, so let me know down comments below which one you like more, Umbreon or Espeon. We're going to see today what Espeon is like. If you missed last week's video, make sure you go check that out if you want to see Umbreon and Vespiquen in action. It's kind of the same thing, but they do totally different attacks. They have different GXs. I don't ever use Espeon's GX in this game. We could have, you'll hear me say it multiple times. But divide GX, put 10 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon any way you like. Yeah, you'll see what I'm talking about later in the game. You'll be like, oh, it's Squeaky. That's what Squeaky was talking about. Where he said he could use Divide, but didn't. But there you go, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. This deck is a lot of fun. Make sure you're testing out. Vespiquen is just a really good attacker overall. And now with these like new inclusions of Pokemon, it became really strong. But guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and let's see this deck in action. Alright, so we're against Ben ZB, one playing a grass, and a colorless deck, which means we can use get out Flareon to make Espeon hit for 2 times weakness. It's probably Decidueye, which we can hit knockouts because they need 3 energies on it, which is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, times 2 is 300. So you actually can beat this matchup. So yes, we'd like to go first and on to our turn. Let's see what is going to happen. Alright, so we start alone, unknown. This is actually really bad. I mean, we can find a Level Ball for an Eevee and the DC it, but we need to top deck like an N. Probably a Sycamore wouldn't be too bad either. We get Sycamore, discard our hand, draw 7 new cards. We will lose a DCE, but that's fine. Let's see. So let's start. They're starting Pokemon. Let's see what is going to happen. Do they get the turn 1 Decidueye or not? And there is a Fermantis. So we'll Love Ball for an Eevee. And Flareon's in the deck. We just gotta draw into it. So Eevee, we'll put that down. Put a DC on this guy, and unfortunately have to pass. Now, Lurantis really can't take a knockout turn 1. The most they could do is 40, because Flower Supply does 40. Attach 2 energies from your discard pile to your Pokemon any way you want to. So there's a 1 grass energy. There's an Ultra Ball. Do they find a... Oh, so discards a grass and a Vespiquen. And will we see a Shaymin? Will we see an Oddish? Okay, Shaymin coming down. We just gotta hope it's not a Vaporeon variant. That's not good for us. So Float Stone to the active. Shaymin come down. Gonna set up for 4 new cards. And let's see, what do they find? Hopefully an N. That'd be really good. Alright, so Force of Giant Plants come down. Float Stone to the Shaymin. And there's an Acrobite with the top 2 cards of their deck. And let's see, what do they discard? Alright, so they discard a Gloom. So they are playing a Vaporeon variant. Alright, so thank you, opponent. You are the bomb.com. Alright, so both get 6 new cards. Can we find an Espeon or a Psychic Energy? Either one is fine. There is an Espeon, there's an Eevee, and a Klefki. Okay, so Onish, Fermantis. Alright, and a Synthesis. Alright, so that's actually a good turn for us. But can we top deck something? I mean, we got an Espeon, but really can't attack. We could use Divide. Alright, so on our turn we find a Combee. So put down Combee, put down Vespiquen, Espeon, Eevee. Okay, so we can either put a DC in the active in retreat to like the Vespiquen and just pass. I'm still put out Klefki. I'm gonna Klefki the active. And I'm going to DC the Vespiquen and just pass, unfortunately. I know the Klefki doesn't prevent Lurantis from attacking it, but we need it. Oh, man, we need to top deck something. I don't know where our supporter cards are. I guess we don't play any. Now, if he takes a knockout, which, I mean, he still can't. They still can't take a knockout. He can't do enough damage. I'm going to say if he does take a knockout, we can maybe top deck Teammates and get a Flareon plus a Psychic Energy. And that could take a knockout. Well, that's 200 HP, so I don't know. Grass Energy active, okay. There's the Lurantis coming down. Alright, so they need 3 energies on it. But once they get the 3 energies on it, we're going to take a knockout. Because Psychic with the Flareon does take a knockout pretty easily. Okay. Like I said, the max they can do is 40. And they can put those Grass Energies, the 1 Grass Energy onto the active or the bench. Because it attacks for anywhere. Any way you like. But once we get the Espeon, we are going to be good to go. We just need to find a Psychic Energy. We also can use Be Revenge late game as well. We will have a bunch of Pokemon in the discard pile, but as you see right now, we just don't have anything. Alright, will they play another N? If they have a Vespiquen, they're definitely probably contemplating to play N, or do they just go for Flower Supply? Or do they try to go... Alright, so there's a Lysandre bringing up the Vespiquen. They're still not going to take a knock on it. And this is fine. Oh, I'm actually going to use... Okay, never mind. They're going to take a knockout by using this GX attack. Alright, so that's not good. We'll set up Espeon, and maybe we'll top something with this Unown. Alright, so on our turn, we find Ultra Ball. Alright, so now we'll Unown. Feral Letter, discard the Unown, and we're going to grab a Shaymin no matter what. There's a Vespiquen, so Ultra Ball, discard 1 to 2 to grab a Sycamore. I mean, a Shaymin, sorry, not a Sycamore, Shaymin, okay. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If we find a Flareon plus a Psychic Energy, we could take a knockout this turn. So Shaymin for 6. Alright, so put down Combee. And man, part of me really wishes wants the Sycamore. I know we'll lose 2 DCs, and we'll have a third one, fourth. All of our DCs will be gone, so no, we have to use End right now. We'll lose all of our DCs to go for Sycamore. And alright, so we find a Psychic Energy, but we do not find a Flareon. So put a Psychic Energy active, and we'll go for Psychic. 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12. Alright, do it 120. Okay, on to our opponent's turn. We can't take a knock on it, even if he does heal. If he heals, he'll have 120 exactly, which is still fine. So Level Ball, I guess we should have put down Faded Town as well, just to bump his stadium, just in case he does get a Vaporeon. So there's a Gloom, okay. And we should have Special Charge. Like, those are 2 things we should have done, and I just didn't do it. Now, if he gets a Vaporeon without putting a Float Stone on it, we get a Lysandre, we get stuck in the active spot, because there's no AZ in this format, so that'd be good for us. So, I'm gonna Trainer Smell, I'm not sure what to grab. But yeah, we definitely should have Special Charge and Faded Town to get rid of the Forest of Giant Plants and put the DC back into our deck. They were seeing Ultra Ball, discarding a Level Ball and a Forest of Giant Plants, and this is probably gonna grab a Vileplume. But this is okay, because we can license the Vileplume and get it stuck in the active spot unless he used Flower Supply, put 2 energies on it. There is 1 energy in the discard pile, okay. So let's see, does it go for Vileplume? Does it go for Lurantis? There's no... I mean, at least we still take a knockout this turn. Next turn, if he doesn't get out the Flareon, or down the Vileplume. Actually, we might just knock out the Lurantis no matter what. Take the real threat off the board. Alright, so there's another Lurantis. He's going to get 2 Lurantis down the field, which is definitely smart. He get double Solar Blade, which knocks us out, unfortunately. So Lurantis coming down, okay. A Sycamore, discarding a N, going to get 7 new cards. Alright, so what he could do is either Flower Supply, power up the other Lurantis, or he can hit us for 120, and then try to power this guy the following turn. No matter what, we can knock out this guy, so that's great. They received Acrobite, discarding an energy, and now he can go for that Flower Supply, put 2 energies on this guy. But if you Fire Supplies plus Solar Blade, that's only 160, which is not enough for a knockout. So we see a Grass Energy in this guy. And we'll most likely see a Flower Supply happening. Alright, so via Seeker, forward Lysandre. Alright, so that means they probably have a Vileplume in hand. Is what I'm thinking. Alright, so Revitalizer, gonna get Gloom back in their hand. And there's a Vileplume. Okay, I guess they want to use a Revitalize before they... okay, alright, whatever. And will he retreat to this Lurantis? No, go to Flash Supply with the active. But like I said, the most he could do next turn is 120, which doesn't knock out our Espeon, because it has 160 HP. And then we see a Grass Energy in the Lurantis, and probably another Grass Energy in the Lurantis as well. So on our turn, we get a Float Stone. I'm going to put down the Espeon before he knocks us out, which will probably happen. Or do we... I think I'm fine with him knocking us out, actually. So I'm going to Psychic, okay, for the knockout. Good out of 4 price cards, and he has an option. He can either bring up the Eevee or Combee, take a knockout that way, or he can hit the Espeon. Now, if he hits the Espeon, we get Sycamore trying to dig for Flareon, take a knock on this Lurantis because we pay for weakness, and there's really no way he can attack us following turn. So Grass into Shaymin. All right, so and we'll both get new hands. We get 4. He gets 5, so he gets rid of the Lysandre, and what he can do now is Scatter to the following turn for the knockout. But they receive the Flareon and an Eevee. Wow, these are 2 like fantastic cards to get. Okay. Alright, so he had Tauros come down. Alright, so that is fighting, and we don't really have a fight. There's no fighting Eevee in this format, unfortunately. And he'll probably go for a Solar Blade, which puts up to 160. Actually, Shaymin doesn't knock us out. Alright, so that's good. So we'll put down Eevee, we'll put down Unown, put down Flareon, and... I'm gonna Unown first to see if we can hit that supporter card before we use Professor. So there's an Unown. We'll put down Unown. We'll play it again. Okay. And there's a Combee. So we'll Professor to draw 2 new cards and do additional 20 damage. There's a DCE. I'll put a DC on the Eevee. And we will Psychic. It's gonna do a ton of damage. Yep, do 340 damage. Alright, there we see a Super Rod and a Vespiquen. Okay, alright, so on to our opponent's turn. I guess we could have DC the Combee and attack with Vespiquen next turn, because 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Going to send the Shaymin. So we're going to see a Sky Turn most likely doing 30. Not knocking our Espeon. We're still alive just barely. And what we could do is divide, put 10 damage counters on somebody if we want to. Like if he puts down a Fermentus or somebody else. There's a Lysandre. Bring it up to Flareon. And he will see a Sky Turn doing 30. Okay. Alright, so we'll see Tauros coming up. And on to our turn, what we can do is Hex Maniac plus Float Stone. Or we can wait to Hex. Let's see. 20, 30, 40, 50. Alright, so put down Vespiquen. And right now I'm just going to pass. Because, I mean, he can hit us for 6, take a knockout. That wasn't very smart. We definitely should have Hex and Float Stone retreated. I forgot that Horn Attack. I was thinking about Rage. I wasn't even thinking about Horn Attack just a second ago. Alright, but he's going down to 4 price cards. And then what we could do is swing with Espeon and then use Vespiquen to take the last 2 price cards. That's probably our best way. We just got to find a DCE. There's 3 in play, though, unfortunately. There's a Grass. He hasn't got a Grass who's active, okay? Oh, he does play DCs. He Grass. So, yeah, we're fine still, okay? This is a weird matchup, guys. We just got to find a supporter card. So, passing our turn. Alright. So, we are going to Hex Maniac. Put a Float Stone on the active. Put down Espeon. And what I'm going to do is retreat into the Espeon and go for a Psybeam. Yeah, I'm going to go for a Psybeam to confuse it. Okay, so auto-confuse right now. Alright, so my opponent's still going to draw a card. If he attacks, he has to flip heads, and if he flips tails, he'll take 30 damage. So yeah, that's a pretty good play right there. Tauros is always like a pain, because like you have to deal with it, you have to worry about its Rage attack. Rage is so strong. Either way, Horn Attack can knock us out. So I have to go for a Psybeam there, trying to confuse it, trying to get it stuck in the axe spot. But now we hexed him, so he can use his supporter cards any way he wants to. We could have played Super Rod, but there's really nothing we're digging for. So there's a Grass using the active, okay. He can use the VS Seekers, he can use like anything he wants to. Ultra Balls, Level Balls. So he's using a Rage and Heads. So his one turn of actually attacking, he actually using supporter cards. He actually added cards. He doesn't go for that, which is really interesting. So instead of Vespiquen, on to our turn, we find a Sycamore. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I'm actually just going to Sycamore. If we find a DCE, there's a Psychic Energy, okay? So Klefki. We'll Klefki the Vespiquen, okay. We can put a Psychic Energy active and Shaymin for 2. Okay. So Sycamore Vaporeon. So what I'm going to do is retreat into the Espeon. We could go Psychics. It does 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then if he flips tails, he actually gets knocked out. He can use Rage, which doesn't knock us out, so we're fine. See, I'm going to Psychic this turn, okay? For 120. If he flips tails, he knocks himself out. And if he retreats somehow, we can Lysandre back up, take a knockout that way. Rage does not knock us out, and does 170, so we're fine that way. We should be good to go. He's already GX, so he can't use Mad Bull GX. He's already uses GX for the turn. There's a Shaymin coming down, gonna set up for nothing. There's a Grass Energy active. He could retreat to Shaymin, but if he does that, we could just use Divide to win the game. That's actually what I want to do. I hope he retreats, because if he retreats, I want to use Divide GX. There's an N. I do not care about this at all. We have Divide GX to put 10 damage counter opponent's Pokemon any way you like. So there's an Ultra Ball and a Jolteon, okay. And we'll most likely see a retreat, but like I said, we can use Divide GX and knock out the Tauros on the bench. Alright. What will our opponent do? So gonna Rage heads. Oh, he actually does smack us. Wow. Alright, but on to our turn. We are going to Yeah, we could take a knockout no matter what. We could use Divide if he retreated. I was hoping he flipped Tails or Retreat. Either way, we would have pretty much secured the game. But we'll see one more game with the Espeon deck here in a second. That one wasn't, it was okay. It wasn't the best. You can see how like Lurantis just struggled though. It doesn't hit numbers. Like, I know at first people were really excited for Lurantis. Like, yes, this card's really good, but I don't think Lurantis is good at all. We'll see one more game with the deck here in a second. Hopefully it's a little bit more exciting. Alright, so Vespiquen Destroy Toriumon, playing a Colorless, Dark, and a Psychic deck. Now, this could be an Umbreon deck, like Umbreon versus Espeon. They're really funny. So we lost coin flip will be going second. It could be just an Yveltal Garbodor deck, which is it'd be kind of weird because you know they have Garbodor, which is on their Jolteons, but we could punish them with Psychic because they need so many energies on them to actually swing while we base our damage off their energies. Yeah, should be interesting. So we start Eevee, we find a DC, but no Psychic energy, which is what we really need turn 1. We need to find an energy to get that Espeon out ASAP, so that way Eevee doesn't get knocked out. He only has 60 HP, he's so fragile. And so what I'm willing to do is just Sycamore, discard our hand, draw 7 new cards, trying to dig for a Psychic energy to get that Espeon turn 1. I know we'll discard a DC, but I'm okay with this. So they're still letting us start a Pokemon. I mean, we could just stop taking a Psychic energy, be fine no matter what. Just wonder if it's an. I mean, I imagine it's Yveltal since they play Psychic. Like, that's definitely a good indication of Garbodor. Alright, so here we go, guys, and it is a Darkrai. So I was wrong both ways. We're going to get the speed Darkrai deck. Now, this one's actually very unfortunate because Darkrai has resistance to Psychic. He only needs 2 energies, so, you know, Psychic's not doing too much. But what we could do is confuse him. If we can confuse his Darkrai's and make it where he can't retreat, that's really nice. There's a Fear Build as well going to the active. Trainer's Mail, look at top cards of its deck, of their deck, okay. There's an Ultra Ball, and this will most likely grab a Hoopa. Alright, so Speed Darkrai. Probably one of our hardest matchups for sure. So an Ultra Ball discarding Team Flare Grunt and a Dark Energy, a Team Flare Grunt. Wow. Alright, so we see Hoopa, we'll see Scoundering, search for 3 EX Pokemon. Probably double Darkrai's and a Shaymin. Alright, so Darkrai, and Shaymin. Yep, alright. So we'll see Darkrai come down, maybe a Max Elixir. Nope, Shaymin for 4 new cards, okay. They're doing the Darkrai thing. But like I said, we can't Psychic them, get them confused, make it where they can attack, because they've already put a Fighting Fear Build in the active. So they need like a Olympia or something, so Darkrai going to Darkrai, okay. And a pass onto our turn. Psychic Energy. Oh my goodness, the top decks. So, well, Psychic Energy, yes. We'll grab an Espeon. And what I'm actually just going to do is just confuse it. I'm just going to Side Beam. I'm not going to do anything else. I'm just going to hold our hand. I'm going to Hex Maniac to shut down abilities. And then I'm going to Side Beam. I'm just going to auto confuse it. It only hits for 10 because of resistance. But he's confused now. So he has to flip a coin to actually attack. Alright, so that's good for us. Alright. But like I said, he could play Olympia. He could use that Vespiquen for a Team Flare Grunt. There's a Dark Energy going to the active. Let's see. Does he flip heads or tails? Yes, alright. So he flipped tails, does 30 to himself. On to our turn. That is fantastic. We'll put a DC in the active, and we'll put a Float Stone on the Espeon as well. Mine as well, right? And a Sycamore, discard our hand, draw 7 new cards. Alright, so we'll Level Ball, thank you. We're grabbing Eevee. We'll put that down, Level Ball for another Eevee. I know we're Level Ball for our Combee, actually. Vespiquen might be our best route to go at the end of the game. So put down Combee, we'll Unknown, Barrel Letter, discard the Unknown, draw a new card, okay. There's our Sycamore, and what I'm going to do right now is just Psychic. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, do 100 damage. Alright, so 100 damage to the active. If he attacks again, we can divide if he retreats, because it has 80 HP left. Okay, so that Side Beam is really coming in really clutch right now, which is really good for us. So Dark Energy to Darkrai. Either way, he's only doing 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 110. There's a Vespiquen for Team Flare Grunt. Going to discard our DCE most likely. Okay. Alright, so that's unfortunate, but it does happen. We do have the Special Charge. And we'll see, does he flip another tail? So Dark Pulse. Alright, so he does hit heads this time. Do it 110. On our turn. Let's see. We find a Combee. So I'm going to Ultra Ball, discard the Combee and Sycamore. I'm going to grab a Shaymin. Okay. So 3 DCs and the Special Charge is priced. Alright, so grab the Shaymin. We'll put a Float Stone on this guy, play Shaymin, set it for 4 new cards. Can we find a DCE? I know my opponent's not really playing too much. Alright, and there's a DC, so DC the active. We'll put down Vespiquen. We'll Klefki and Wonderlock anybody, doesn't really matter. We'll Wonderlock the Shaymin, and we will Psychic for the knockout. Okay. So Psychic for the knockout. Oh, we could have used Divide that turn. Putting some damage on the active and some on the bench would have been really cool. So Combee, unknown come in our hand. Okay. How many Pokemon have in here? Okay, just 4. So that's not enough right now. We'll see the other Darker coming up, 20, 40, 60. He can take a knockout. Don't get me wrong. It can happen. So Darker to the bench. Oh, there's a Tauros coming down. We just dealt one of these. Oh my goodness. And a Sycamore, discard his hand, draw 7 new cards. Now, if he takes a knockout this turn, we can go for the Confuse Flip again. Or auto-confuse it. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Alright, so that's going to be a knockout now. Puts a Dark into Tauros. Okay. And we'll see a Dark Pulse for the knockout, most likely. Okay. So, Sound Lab, I don't care about Sound Lab really. So Dark Pulse for the knockout, he'll go down to 4 price cards. But what I'm going to do is Psychic, confuse the Darkrai again, and that's probably the best route to go. So it goes down to 4. We'll send up Eevee. On our turn. And let's see what's going to happen. We find an Espeon. I hope our other Espeon is in the deck. So, oh, we're Sound Labbed. Duh, but we found it. Okay, duh. Sound Lab does affect us. Alright, so I forgot about Sound Lab. For that 1 second, I did. We'll put down Combee. We'll via Seeker for Sycamore. Discard our hand. Draw 7 new cards. Okay. I was like, Sound Lab doesn't affect us. And people are like, Squeaky, it does affect you. What are you talking about? I'm like, oh, it does. Oh, that's great. So Ultra Ball, discard 1 and 2. We'll grab an Eevee. Okay. Because what we could do is get an Espeon, a Jolteon, take a knock on a Shaymin. Grab Eevee. We'll put that down. And we'll Psybeam again. Auto-confuse that Darkrai, doing 10 damage as well. Alright, so on to our opponent's turn. He gets Float Stone the active. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're doing 130 with the Vespiquen as of right now. Okay. So EXP share goes on a Darkrai. He wants to fear about the Tauros, so Darkrai into Tauros, okay. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. He's doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 120. And he's going to end us, which is fine with me. He's not Lysandre in his turn. He's not using Olympia. There's a Max. Looks okay. Alright, so Darker needs to the Hoopa. Alright. And does he flip heads or tails? Alright, so he's going to Dark Pulse for 140. Okay. So on our turn, we find it in. Okay, so we got to think about this. Alrighty, so 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. So I'm going to Sycamore, discard our hand, draw 7 new cards. Okay, that's not good. We'll put down Jolteon. We'll Ultra Ball, discard a... Let's see, is there a Lysandre in the discard pile? Alright, so I'm going to discard 1 and 2. I think I'm still going to discard Lysandre no matter what. We'll grab a Vespiquen. We'll put a Vespiquen down. Retreat to Vespiquen and use Intelligence Gathering. I know he can smack us for a knockout. But I'm hoping he flips tails. So there's the, okay, so Intelligence Gathering, yes, I would, thank you. Alright, we find a DC for next turn. Alright, so under our opponents, they're going to draw a card. Does he have a Lysandre? He hasn't played one yet, and he has 4 cards in his hand. So Darker needs this Darkrai, okay. Let's see what is going to happen here, guys. Let's see. Alright. Confusion is doing, like, really good right now. That's the key thing. Confusion is doing some work. Now we make it, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so he's going to manually retreat to the Tauros. He can Horn Attack for the... he actually can't. There's a Lysandre. Bring it to Espeon. That will take a knockout, alright? So we see 60, taking a knockout, okay. Alright, so I'm going to do a send up Shaymin. And I'm going to do something crazy here. But we need to get the Shaymin out of the way of being knocked out. So we're going to be a Seeker for a Lysandre. Lysandre up the Darkrai. Put a DC on Shaymin. We can't Klefki either because he's got Silent Lab down. And I'm going to Sky Return and put in the Jolteon. Okay. Does he find a Float Stone? If he finds a Float Stone, we're in trouble. He probably doesn't play DCE. He's already played... I actually hasn't played any Float Stones. I thought he did, but I guess he didn't. So let's see. He did have a Lysandre in his hand. So Fury Belt to the active, and that's great. I don't care about this. Okay. Alright, so we see a reverse lock coming down. I don't care about that either. Ultra Ball going to start 2 cards from his hands. Gonna grab a Shaymin. Now, grab a Shaymin here is really good for us because we can Lysandre the first Shaymin, take a knockout, and then maybe knock out the other Shaymin. Now, he's already played a Fury Belt to the active, which is very strange because now he can't Float Stone it. Alright, so 6 new cards come in his hand. Unless he plays an Olympia, that could get him out of the active, or an Escape Room, or a Switch. There's a lot of options he has right now. Okay, alright, so let's see what does our opponent find. If he doesn't find anything, what we can do is a Lysandre Shaymin, taking a knockout, and then probably take our last knockout with the other Vespiquen. So we see a Darkening going to Hoopa, okay. EXP share to the Tauros. And an N. Gets rid of our DCE. Alright, so he gets 2 cards. We get 4. Do we find a DCE or not? And we don't have one just yet. Oh, never mind, we do. So we'll put a DC on the Vespiquen with no Psychic Energy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. So I'm still going to Ultra Ball. Discard 1 and 2 to grab a Shaymin. But I'm not going to put it down. I'm just going to put it in our hand. And then I'm going to VS Seeker for a Lysandre, bring up a Shaymin, taking a knockout, going down to 2 prize cards. So yes, we'll grab Lysandre. We'll bring up the Shaymin. We'll retreat and go for Be Revenge for a knockout. Alright, so yep, we'll treat the Vespiquen. Be Revenge does a ton of damage. We're hit for weakness, doing 320. So we're doing hit for 160 right now. We'll go down to 2 prize cards. There is a Teammates and a Special Charge. 2 good cards we need. That is... Okay. Alright. So if he takes a knockout here, we can do 180. And that knocks out pretty much everybody on this field. Alright, so is he a Darkening Darkrai? Does he have another N? So there's a Hex Maniac. I do not care about the Hex Maniac. He's gonna take a knockout, we get Teammates, and get... We're good. We're gonna win this game, guys. Alright, so Dark Pulse for the knockout, do it 170, but now we can swing for 180 damage and win the game, because now he put another Pokemon in our discard pile. So let's go Vespiquen. Alright, so on our turn, we're still going to Special Charge, shuffle the DCs back into our deck. I'm going to Teammates for any 2 cards in our deck. I'm going to grab this, and that's going to be pretty much it. I guess we'll grab Professor. We have to grab 2 cards. We'll put a DC on the active, and as long as I do the math right, this should be a knockout. And there we go, 180 damage exactly to knock out the Darkrai, and we will take the game. Oh my goodness, that was pretty much one of our hardest matchups. Like I said, Darkrai does have that resistance. It does a ton of damage, but as you see, Psychic is a really good attack. I mean, not Psychic, Psybeam is a really good attack because you confuse them, and you're good to go. And wow, he had an Eevee and an unknown price, and we still took down the Darkrai deck. You can see why Vespiquen Espeon is such a strong deck, and why it might be a bit better than Umbreon, because you do have that really good Psybeam attack, which confuse them, and then they flip tails, you're good to go. So there we go, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode of Main Deck Monday. It was a lot of fun playing this deck. I do think this is better than the Umbreon deck for sure. Which I know is interesting. I know it's weird to say that, but I think this is better than Umbreon, even though you get 90 and 30. But this one, you can do a ton of more damage thanks to Psychic. So there you go, guys. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day. Alrighty, bye.
Alright guys, I just want to give a quick shout out to our 3 sponsors, 60 Cards, Yeti Gaming, and the Pokemon Company International. Links to everything will be down below in the description. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Alrighty.